Yeah, you just called it.
Sometimes
some teams are like, no,
they've got
you need to be with me a year for the first 3 years. This is happening with me and Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark finished rookie season. We've been talking for a few years, and
you worked with Caitlin Clark.
So we were going to work last summer, but I was gonna have to go to Indianapolis, and I respected when you're young on your team, you work out at your practice facility. Yeah. So I'm hoping now this off season, I love it. I'm hoping that she'll come to New York.
Okay, so Chris Brickley just dropped a bomb that nobody saw coming. The man who's trained LeBron, KD, Carmelo Anthony, literally some of the greatest players to ever touch a basketball, just revealed he's been trying to work with Caitlin Clark for years. And get this, the Indiana Fever basically said no, they blocked it. You're probably thinking, wait, why would they do that? Yeah, that's exactly what we're about to unpack. Because what he reveals next is going to make you question everything about how the Fever are handling their franchise player.
Okay, this is what I like to hear. I'm all in. I'm all in on this move. I've been saying I want to see Caitlin Clark train with some new higher level elite training. I want her to get the hell away from Indiana as far as training. I don't want her practicing with Stephanie White. I don't want her working with the Indiana Fever training staff, even though they're getting a new senior advisor and all that. I don't want none.
Did you catch that energy? I'm all in on this move. And honestly, so am I. Because here's what most people don't realize about Chris Brickley. This isn't just some random trainer trying to get clout off Caitlin Clark's name. This man transformed Carmelo Anthony into Hoodie Melo. Remember when Melo came back looking like he shed 20 lbs of pure muscle and was moving different? That was Brickley. Jimmy Butler's entire ISO game that makes him impossible to guard in the playoffs. Brickley worked on that. And now, he wants to add Caitlin Clark to that list. But here's the kicker. Last summer, when Caitlin was dealing with all those physicality issues, and everyone was saying she needed to bulk up and get stronger, Brickley reached out. He wanted to work with her, and the Fever said she had to stay in Indianapolis and train at their facility.
Caitlin, leave Indiana this summer. You need to take your ass to New York City and put that work in with Chris Brickley. I'm telling you, he's going to help take her game to the next level. Forget working out with Austin Kelly and Stephanie White. What's the dude, the trainer? He cool. He cool. He tore his Achilles too. Like, how the training staff tearing their Achilles and all types of stuff. I'm cool on all that. Forget all this working out in empty gyms. We need you doing that, and we need 5.
Leave Indiana this summer. You need to take your ass to New York City. And honestly, that might be the realest advice anyone's given Caitlin Clark all season, because check out what's happening here. Chris Brickley runs his training sessions in New York with the absolute best players in the world. We're not talking about empty gyms with one trainer. We're talking about Trae Young, Paolo Banchero, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, all in the same facility, pushing each other, competing, working on NBA-level moves. And Caitlin could be in that environment right now. But here's what nobody's talking about. Why does Indiana want to keep her isolated? Why are they so protective of her training in their facility with their staff? What are they afraid of?
She has absolutely changed.
Yeah.
Women's sports.
For sure.
Just
and I love
generally
competitiveness too.
Oh man, I know. She is, that's the other piece too, that like, it's okay for women to be competitive,
Sure.
And that was one series that was crazy, bro. She walked out on the court with her black.
She's the reason why the WNBA has become so big. Even Chris Brickley knows it. The man who's worked with NBA champions, all-stars, MVPs, he's giving Caitlin Clark her flowers and saying she changed the entire landscape of women's basketball. And if someone at that level recognizes her impact and wants to invest time in developing her game, you'd think the Fever would be doing backflips to make it happen. But instead, they're putting up roadblocks. They're saying, no, she needs to be here with us. And I need you to understand something. This is classic organizational control. When a team is more concerned about maintaining authority than maximizing their players' potential, that's when you know something's broken in the system.
He's fired or let go of his last 4 or 5 trainers because they just wanted to shoot threes with them, and they just wanted to work on dribble and then different shots be going. So the paint, his big
Jimmy Butler
thing is, if I'm making those shots around the paint, then all my other shots are going to be going. So if you actually were to watch a game and he starts the game off and he makes a few shots around the paint, he's going to have a hot night that night. His big thing, I don't know why these.
You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Butler, James Harden. Come on, man.
It's really cool.
Okay, so let me break down exactly what Chris Brickley does that makes him different. He's not just running shooting drills. He's not just having players do the same repetitive moves. Listen to what he said about James Harden. He's big with the step backs. He's big with the side steps. I've been doing this for 8 years, and I've never seen a player do these drills. That's the level of creativity and innovation we're talking about. He's creating moves that make players impossible to guard. And think about what Caitlin Clark needs most right now. Everyone knows her three-point shooting is elite. Everyone knows her court vision is generational. But what happens when teams blitz her on every ball screen? What happens when they're trapping her at half court and forcing the ball out of her hands? She needs counters. She needs an ISO game. She needs finishes around the rim that work when there's bodies everywhere. And Chris Brickley specializes in exactly that.
To the workout, he's big with the step backs. He's big with the side steps. I've been doing this for like 8 years, and I've never seen a player do these drills. So I actually took some stuff from him, and it's actually impossible to guard.
James Harden, like Paolo Banchero.
So Paolo Banchero was just Rookie of the Year. Something we're working on is consistency. So he's showing how strong he is. He showed how athletic he is. Now we're just really working around the top of the key area, and we work on just being a consistent shooter and shooting off the dribble.
This is the type of work that she needs. And watch what's happening in that footage. You've got multiple elite players in the same gym going at each other, competing at the highest level. That's the environment that creates greatness. Not empty gyms in Indianapolis with one trainer. Not controlled practice sessions where everything's scripted. You need that competitive fire, that edge, that hunger that comes from working out with people who are just as good or better than you. And here's what's wild. Caitlin Clark could have been in this environment last summer. She could have been working with Trae Young, learning his floater game, his change of pace, how he manipulates defenders in pick-and-roll situations. She could have been studying Paolo Banchero's footwork around the basket, how he uses his body to create space. But instead, the fever kept her in Indianapolis, and we all saw how that turned out.
Dealt with for the 2025 season, injuries, medical staff looking questionable, which I think that whole little post about the job, which I'm gonna make a video about it probably some point this week. I got to learn a little bit more in regards to that department. But Chris Brinkley is up there. If we're talking like trainers, we're talking getting players ready.
Medical staff looking questionable. And there it is. Because this isn't just about training anymore. This is about the entire infrastructure around Caitlin Clark. When your medical staff is questionable, when your training staff is tearing Achilles tendons walking downstairs at night, when your organization is blocking elite NBA trainers from working with your franchise player, you've got a systemic problem. This isn't one bad decision. This is a pattern of organizational dysfunction. And Caitlin Clark is stuck in the middle of it, dealing with injuries, dealing with inconsistent support, dealing with a front office that seems more concerned with control than with putting her in the best position to succeed.
That one-on-one type of game to where she don't have to use the ball screen so much and give the other team the option to blitz her and double her nonstop. You see what I'm saying? Like if she's able to add some of these small things, bro, Caitlin Clark it's gonna be unguardable. It's just gonna be unguardable.
So James Harden, he's one of the probably most creative players of our generation, and he works out in an unorthodox way. He still does a lot of fundamental things, but we also work a lot on creating space.
Now watch this part closely because Chris Brickley is explaining his philosophy with Paolo Banchero, and it's exactly what Caitlin Clark needs to hear. Something we're working on is consistency. He's showing how strong he is. He's showing how athletic he is. Now, we're just really working around the top of the key area, and we work on just being a consistent shooter and shooting off the dribble. That's the evolution. You don't just work on your strengths. You identify the next level of your game, and you attack it relentlessly. For Caitlin, that next level is finishing through contact, creating her own shot when the play breaks down, and developing counters when defenses take away her primary options. And here's what makes me crazy about this whole situation. She knows she needs this. Chris Brickley knows she needs this. Everyone watching the WNBA knows she needs this. The only people who don't seem to get it are the Indiana Fever front office interview.
My years here in Indiana, obviously, without it, uncertainty, you don't know what's to come. But I built a life here. I love this franchise. I love the people, the fans. So we'll see what comes. If judged by the atmosphere, right? A lot of uncertainty. You don't know what's to come, man. But I built a life here. I love the franchise. I love the people and the fans. So we'll see what comes if judged.
I think Caitlin Clark has the best sneaker game because she gets the most amount of free shoes. And okay, that's a fun little moment from Lexi Hull. But notice what's happening here. Even her teammates are acknowledging that Caitlin operates on a different level. She's got Nike throwing shoes at her. She's got national commercials. She's got the entire sports world watching her every move. And yet, the organization is treating her like she's a rookie who needs to follow all the standard protocols. That's the disconnect. You can't have it both ways. You can't market her as the face of the league, the generational talent, the player who's changing women's basketball forever, and then treat her like she needs to stay in your facility and do exactly what you tell her. At some point, you have to trust that she knows what's best for her development.
If he can pull out things in her game that she currently has shown flashes of, and I believe he can pull out things in her game that she hasn't even shown us yet. I'm telling you, man, I think Caitlin Clark should take up this opportunity to train with a great NBA personal trainer in Chris Brickley, man. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. Welcome to Keep the Vision. I was about to say my intro again, but this is Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel. Let me know what you think about this. Should Caitlin Clark leave Indiana to go train elsewhere in the offseason? I believe she should.
Should Caitlin Clark leave Indiana to go train this offseason? I believe she should. And here's why that statement hits different. Because this isn't just about one summer of training. This is about Caitlin Clark taking control of her own career. She's about to be a restricted free agent. She's built a life in Indianapolis. She loves the fans. She's connected to the community. But love and loyalty can't be one-sided. If the organization truly valued her the way they should, they would be doing everything possible to maximize her potential. They would be connecting her with the best trainers, the best medical staff, the best support system in the world. Instead, they're putting up barriers and saying, no, you need to stay here with us. That's not love. That's control. And there's a massive difference. So here's what needs to happen this offseason. And I need Caitlin Clark to really hear this. You've given Indiana everything. You've transformed their franchise from irrelevant to sold-out arenas every night. You've brought national attention, record-breaking viewership, and a level of excitement the WNBA hasn't seen in decades. You've done your part. Now, it's time to demand that the organization does theirs. If Chris Brickley is reaching out, if one of the most respected trainers in basketball is saying, I want to work with you, I can take your game to another level, you take that opportunity. You get on a plane to New York City. You spend your summer in that gym with NBA players, and you come back with moves that make you absolutely unstoppable. Because